Did you know that over 60% of immigrants in the UK find themselves in debt during the first year when they move to the UK? That is like a staggering number. It really highlights how tough it can be to navigate the financial landscape of a new country when you just move. Now, don't get me wrong, moving to a new country can be exciting. I can tell you this for free because when I moved to the UK, I was excited about the possibilities that I could maximize in this country and the value I could also add to the society here. But it also comes with a ton of stress, especially when it comes to managing money. I'm sure a lot of immigrants around the world can relate when it comes to moving to a new country and finances. Now, when some people move to the UK, they actually find themselves faced with a banking system that feels completely foreign to them, like a bank system they are not even used to. Some don't even know how to open a bank account. Some don't even know the document needed to open a bank account where they're living, or they don't even know the fees that might be associated to having certain bank accounts. And there's also the living cost, rent, bills, and everyday expenses can be shockingly high compared to your home country, and it can feel overwhelming. And if you don't pay, the loan collectors or the money collectors will come after you. They will write letters, they will pressure you to pay that money. You say you're not going to be able to cope in life, you're not be able to sleep because they will be sending you letters on end. If you owe any money when it comes to paying your bills here in the UK, I'm sure you can all relate. Even international students, if you don't pay your tuition fee, your school will start writing you threatening emails that will report you to home office, blah, 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 blah. Your mind will just be high when it comes to paying your bills on time here in the UK, when it comes to even settling your debt, Not to mention the pressure to send money back home or to support family members. All of this can lead to financial mistake that can haunt you for years when you first move to the UK, or even for those who have been living in the UK for years, like for immigrants who have been living in the UK for years. All this pressure can make them make some financial mistakes that will be hard to get out of for years, or can even put them in debt for years. So basically what I'm just trying to say is that when some immigrants move to the UK, they are faced with unique financial challenges as they adjust to their new environment. That is why it is paramount to understand and learn from some of the common financial pitfalls immigrants make in the UK, just so that you are well equipped with this knowledge. And this knowledge can pave the way so that you can have a smoother transition and long-term financial stability here in the UK. So with that said, in this video, I will share some of the most frequent financial mistakes immigrants make here in the UK and strategies of how to stay clear from them. Now, the very first mistake is ignoring your credit history. Now, many immigrants would actually arrive to the UK without a credit history. Not everyone who comes to the UK would have a credit history, but some migrants who come to the UK would have a credit history. Like if you are coming from other Western countries where you have like a credit history already, I think you can transfer your credit history to the UK one. Like there's a way you can do that. But if you are coming from a country like Nigeria where there's nothing like credit history, you would arrive without no credit history, basically securing loans or getting a mortgage or even getting a rental agreement difficult. This lack of financial footprint often leads to high interest rates or outright denial for financial products. Like some people might not be able to even get a mortgage, or some landlords will not even rent their house out to some immigrants here in the UK because they don't have a credit history. Like they don't know how good they are with money. Because here in the UK, some landlords would usually rely on a tenant's credit history to kind of gauge whether this person will pay rent or not pay rent. So if they feel you are not going to pay rent because you don't have a credit history, they will not want to rent their house to you. So to avoid this mistake, start building your credit history as soon as possible. Open a UK bank account, register to vote, apply for a credit card, and please use the credit card responsibly by paying off the balances in full each month. And please do have it in mind that there are ways to build your credit history and your credit score without taking out a loan or a credit card. do your research and find out ways to do that. Now, I do have a video on the channel on how I built my credit history here in the UK. I will link this video for those who are interested in watching it to find ways on how to build their own credit history here in the UK. Now, when I was building my credit history here in the UK, I didn't take out a credit card. Like, I don't have a credit card. But when my husband was building his own credit score here in the UK, he actually took out a credit card and it helped him. So yes, there are ways you can build your credit history in the UK without taking out a credit card. Also, when it comes to building your credit score and history here in the UK, ensure your bills such as your utility and rent are always paid on time, and check your credit reports regularly to correct any inaccuracy or inconsistent. And when it comes to building your credit history and score here in the UK, always make sure that your details are always correct. Make sure you write your name in a very specific order. Don't miswrite your name anyhow. Now, moving on, mistake number 2 is overlooking the importance of financial planning. Now, some new immigrants here in the UK often focus on immediate needs such as finding a job, which is very important, or housing, and neglecting long-term financial planning. This oversight can lead to poor financial decision and a lack of saving for emergency or retirement. So as you are juggling looking for a house, job hunting, looking for schools for your children, trying to figure out how to be more stable, also add financial planning to it. It is very important. To avoid this mistake, develop a comprehensive budget that accounts for both short-term and long-term expenses. Also set up an emergency fund with at least 3 to 6 months worth of your basic living expenses, so that in times of emergencies, like if you lose your job or there's an unexpected emergency that came up, you can always sort yourself out financially without taking out a credit card or a payday loan or even borrowing money from family and friends. Furthermore, you can consider speaking to financial advisors to create a saving and investment plan tailored to your goals if you cannot do that yourself. And here in the UK, there is an organization called Citizen Advice. If you are struggling financially, if you don't know how to budget, if you just need somebody to talk to financially, you can always call them and they would help you out. Now, I want to hear from you. So in the comment section, tell me if you have made any financial mistakes since you moved to the UK. I want to know your experience. I'll be in the comment section reading and replying to comments. Now, many immigrants here in the UK may be more susceptible to financial scams due to unfamiliarity with the local financial practices and institutions. Now, a few weeks ago, I uploaded a video on the channel talking about job scams here in the UK and how someone lost £16,000 to a job scam here in the UK. Now, even British citizens or people who have lived in the UK for years do fall into scams. So as an immigrant, you are moving more susceptible to falling for this scam because obviously you're not familiar. So just be cautious when it comes to some offers that seems too good to be true. Now, scammers here in the UK are becoming more sophisticated and they would often target newcomers offering fraudulent schemes or posing as legitimate financial advisors. Some can even pose as HMRC. A lot of funny scams here in the UK and a lot of serious scams and a lot of gut-wrenching scams here in the UK. Now, to avoid being scammed in the UK, just be cautious when it comes to unsolicited offers and always verify the legitimacy of financial institutions or financial advisors that reach out to you when you did not even reach out to them. And when you're reaching out to all these financial advisors and institutions, be cautious. Likewise, avoid sharing your personal information or making payment to unverified sources. Familiarize yourself with the common scams and report any suspicious activities to authorities. Here in the UK, you can report to action fraud if you suspect that someone who reached out to you is a scammer or a program going on here in the UK is a scammy program. You can always report it. Just be cautious. Let's just protect ourselves, please. Now, the fourth mistake is misunderstanding tax obligations. Now, navigating the UK tax system can be challenging for newcomers. Misunderstanding tax obligations or failing to file correctly can lead to penalty and legal issues. Now, in the UK, ignorance is not bliss. So please, to avoid this mistake, educate yourself about UK tax laws, including income tax, national insurance contribution, and VAT. Consider consulting with a tax advisor who can help you to understand your tax responsibilities and optimize your tax situation here in the UK, or reach out to accountants who can help you with that. And ensure you keep thorough records of your income and expenses, and make sure you pay your tax here in the UK. I know the tax here in the UK can be ridiculous, especially on income tax, but please pay your taxes so you don't make this mistake that can be costly. Now, the fifth mistake is so common, which is neglecting to understand the cost of living here in the UK, and maybe thinking the UK government would give you benefits. Now, the cost of living in the UK can vary significantly based on where you live, like the region where you live here in the UK. Some migrants sometimes miscalculate their budget based on general estimations, leading to financial strains. Now, if you be living in a place like London, don't use someone's budget that is living in Manchester to budget for your cost of living in London. No, your cost of living may be high. It's even better if you use the budget of someone who has a living lifestyle similar to your own, and that person lives in London, and you'll be living in Manchester to budget for Manchester, because obviously it might be cheaper, like your cost of living might be cheaper in Manchester. So to avoid this mistake, just research the cost of living for the specific area you'll be living in the UK. Consider factors like housing, transportation, and daily expenses when you're trying to estimate how much it will cost you monthly to live here in the UK. Furthermore, create a detailed budget reflecting this cost and adjust your financial plans accordingly. Like if your income should increase, adjust your budget based on your income increasing. If your income should decrease, adjust your budget based on your income decreasing. And have it in mind that as an immigrant living here in the UK, especially on a visa, you are not entitled to public funds. Like on your BRP, is written clearly there, no recourse to public funds if you don't have indefinite leave to remain or you're not a citizen. So budget wisely, like understand that the cost of living in the UK can be expensive. You don't have access to public funds, so try to live in a city that is within your means. It's not compulsory you live in big cities like London, Manchester, Birmingham. I know that that's where it's bubbling. That's a nice place to live, you know. You mingle with other people. African shop is easy to access. You can easily do your hair. You can make friends. You can go to African churches and stuff like that. I know when you come to the UK, you want to live in big cities. But if the salary you'll be getting in the UK in wherever sector you work will not cover for you to live in big cities, or let's say the money you save from your home country and you're coming with to the UK will not cover big cities, just live in commuter towns. So commuter towns are like small, affordable towns, right, that are closer to the big cities, where you can easily communicate from that small town to the big city. Because when you're not living in city, if you cannot afford it, just live where you can, afford. Now, if you afford this video to this point, it can only mean one thing. It means that you find this video valuable. So please give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend this video to other people so that they can also benefit from the information in this video. And you can even take the time out to share it to your family and friends so that they can also benefit from the information in this video. Now, moving on, the sixth mistake is failing to utilize financial support services. Now, many new migrants here in the UK may not be aware of various financial support services available, such as financial literacy programs, grants, or community resources. Apart from even being aware, some immigrants might not even want to access these things because they think it's public funds, and it might not even be public funds. Some of them are not. What I'm referring to is not public funds. Some of them are even for free, and people are scared that, I might have to pay for these services, and with all the bills and everything, I don't have money to pay for financial literacy program, to help me with my finances and stuff like that. Now, there are free resources out there that you can maximize. So to avoid this mistake, seek out local organizations and community groups that offer financial support and advice to immigrants for free. Now, citizen advice is a good one you can use. They always used to provide financial advice to people who are struggling financially. Also, gov.uk, you see that website is the OG website. If you're living in this UK, like, you need to familiarize yourself with that website because it's a UK government website and it provides a whole lot of information. Like, there's a whole lot of resources there available on finances if needed. You can also utilize your local council and charity organization. You can utilize their services to gain valuable insights and assistance when it comes to managing your finances. And like I mentioned earlier, there are some financial services that are good, legit, they are not scammed for free. Like for instance, if you want to buy a house in the UK and you want to apply for a mortgage, or you want to understand what mortgage will work best for you, how to go through the mortgage application process, there are some mortgage brokers that would do that for you for free, because when the deal goes through, the bank will pay them. Even the bank will tell you that they would pay your mortgage broker a particular amount of money. They won't tell you how much they are going to pay your mortgage broker. So before concluding that seeking financial advice might be expensive, seek out one first. Then when they not ask you to pay, you cannot be saying, okay, it's expensive. Don't say it's expensive before you seek out one, or before you even know what it will cost you. And again, YouTube is a good platform to get financial resources from. Now, not all YouTube videos when it comes to finances are good, but there's this platform I can vouch for, Humble Penny. They create amazing YouTube videos on managing your finances here in the UK. They have a book that just came out. You can buy that book. I think it's like 20-something pounds or so. Buy that book. All the financial advice you need to survive here in the UK is inside that book. Buy the book and read it, or go and watch all their free YouTube videos. They have a paid platform. If you don't want to pay for it, go and watch all their free videos. If you don't want to buy their book, go and watch all their free videos. Some people don't even like to do their research. Some people don't even like to do anything. They just want people to do everything for them. And if you fall into that category of people and you live here in the UK, you're going to make a lot of mistakes, because people will give you rubbish advice. Learn to do your research yourself and learn to do things by yourself. Now, I used to even say, before you even pay for any service, right, maximize free resources. When you have now maximized all the free resources you can find, and you're not now getting the desired result you want, then you cannot start looking for who to pay to help you out. Now, moving on, mistake number 7 is underestimating the importance of insurance. Now, insurance may not be a priority for many immigrants when they move to the UK because of all the 1 million things they need to figure out. But the lack of proper coverage can lead to significant financial difficulties in the event of unforeseen circumstances, especially if you have a mortgage or any other loan. So to avoid this mistake, ensure you have adequate insurance coverage, including health insurance if you need it, home insurance if you're a homeowner, car insurance if you have a car, life insurance, critical illness insurance. Get any insurance that you feel is applicable to your lifestyle, and understand the terms of your insurance policy and review them regularly to make sure that they meet your needs. Now, mistake number 8 is not planning for retirement. Now, planning for retirement might be overlooked in the midst of settling into a new country. You have 1 million things to think about when you move to the UK. But failing to save for retirement early can limit your financial security later in life. So to avoid this mistake, start contributing to a pension plan as soon as possible. Once you get a job, just start researching the UK's pension system, including options like the state pension and private pension schemes, and even your workplace pension. Consider setting up a personal pension or joining a workplace pension scheme. Like when they opt you in for a workplace pension when you start working, don't opt out. Stay within the pension scheme, contribute to your workplace pension. Don't collect all your money and say, no, the future will sort itself out. We live now. We live for today. All those ridiculous things people say. Don't say that. Just join. The £100, £200, or whatever amount you're contributing to your pension will probably not add any difference to your cost of living if you adjust yourself properly. So please do not opt out from your workplace pension when you start working. Think of retirement. It is very important. Now, mistake number 9, this one I'm guilty of, is not dealing with black tax the right way. Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, black tax refers to the financial burden many immigrants face when they're expected to support their extended families in their home country, like in their country of origin. And this can put a strain on their finances and hinder their ability to save or invest efficiently. Now, to avoid this mistake, set clear boundaries with your family regarding financial support and prioritize your own financial stability. Now, there's this analogy that has helped me so far when it comes to black tax. Is the analogy of when you're flying by air. Now, when you're flying by air, before the plane would take off, there's this video that would usually come up saying, should in case anything happens and then the oxygen mask is released, please wear your nose mask first, like wear your own oxygen mask first before helping someone else. Now, when it comes to black tax and my finances, I always make sure that I am financially stable first before helping other people. Because if I'm not financially stable and the tax man is after me, my bank is after me to pay my mortgage, my utility providers are after me to pay for my utility, I will not be emotionally stable. I will not be balanced to even say I want to help other people. But if I'm balanced myself in my mental, physical, emotional self is balanced and I'm financially stable, I can help other people. Do you get what I mean? So it is very important that you communicate openly about what you can and cannot do. Create a realistic budget that includes provisions for generosity, for supporting your family and friends, while ensuring that your financial goals and needs are met. Now, if you fall into the category of people who their family members used to blackmail emotionally to support them, seek financial advice if the burden is becoming overwhelming, and consider financial counseling to manage and plan for these obligations. I know when it comes to black tax, some people can be sentimental. I know I am sentimental when it comes to black tax because I love my people so much and they've done so much for me. But I always remind myself that there's so much I can do. Even as a child growing up, when I ask my parents for something, see if they cannot do, they will tell me, Auntie, we can't do the thing you're asking for. Ask for something else we can do, So when it comes to things that family and friends are asking of me, if I know I can't do it, I tell them I can't do it. And if I need to work towards it, I tell them, okay, I'll need to work towards this thing. Give me a particular period of time to work towards this and helping you out with this financial need. Now, mistake number 10, which I am also guilty of, is taking on excessive debts. Let me hide my face. I know, on this channel I used to preach about don't take debts, don't take loan, don't shake back. Let me tell you guys, now me, I've taken loan to buy a car, but I'm trying to manage it. I'm sure you guys have once seen the video, like I did a whole playlist of buying a car in the UK and how we financed it and all of that. You can go watch it for more of that. So I'm sure it's not one news to people. Now, some immigrants in the UK may take on excessive debt as they are trying to manage immediate needs or make large purchases, such as buying a house or a car, without fully understanding the implication of high interest loan or the interest loan in general. And again, you just moved to the UK, right? Buying and pay later can entice you. Be buying necessary and unnecessary things on, is it Klarna they call it? Taking out loan to be buying unnecessary things. Now, to avoid this mistake, before taking out a loan, assess your ability to repay it based on your current financial situation and income. Don't say, I'm expecting my salary to increase next month, so because of that, I'm going to buy everything on loan. And next month, when my salary now comes, I will now pay it. No, wait till next month for the salary increase to come before you buy that thing on a loan. If it's not an urgent need, wait for your increase to come. Don't be using future money to be buying things on loan. Wait for the future money to come. Buy the thing you want to buy in the future if it's not a necessity or if it's not something that has to do with your life, like if you don't buy it, your life will end. Wait. It's not the end of the world if you wait. Practice delayed gratification. Even me, I've been practicing delayed gratification. So practice delayed gratification. It's good for the soul. It's good for the body. It will help you save your emergency fund. It will help you save for a house. Help you pay up the loans you already have. It will help you pay it off fast. Practice delayed gratification. Be waiting to buy things in full. Not everything you buy on loan. Also, before you take out a loan, shop around for the best interest rates and terms, and be cautious about taking out debt that exceeds your ability to repay comfortably. Now, if you have taken out a loan like myself, prioritize high interest debt first and work on reducing them before accumulating additional loan. Before you can take more debts, pay the ones you have first before you can be taking another one. Because here in this country, they can give anybody loan and then they will not be coming to look for you to pay the money. You'll not be filing bankruptcy. Anyway, if you've accumulated so much debt that you don't know how to even come out from it, just consider consulting with a financial advisor to evaluate your borrowing needs and to help you develop a manageable repayment plan to pay all your bills if you have any loans that you already have. Now, the last but not the least money mistake migrants here in the UK make is sending money back home for them to build a house for them or do business for them without knowing if they can fully trust the person they are sending money back home to. Now, we've had a lot of stories where people will say, I've been sending money back home for them to build a house for me or for them to do a business for me. When I went back home, I didn't see anything, or they ghosted me, or there was no reward for it. Now, before you start sending money back home for people to be building a house for you or doing business for you, sort yourself in the UK, where you are living in the UK, sort yourself first. Before you start building house back in your home country, build house in UK where you are living. Stop paying landlord money. Or if you don't want to even buy a house or build a house you're living in the UK, buy a buy-to-rent property and build that one to rent, so that, okay, you own a property in the UK and using that one for business. If you must do a business back in your home country or build a property back in your home country, ensure that the people you are sending money to help you do these things are people you can vouch for. Obviously, you can't vouch for people fully, but don't deceive yourself. Don't say because, oh, someone is my brother, someone is my parent, they will not spend my money. No. If you are seeing signs that this person is not financially responsible, they cannot be financially responsible with your money. Don't deceive yourself. If you've seen signs that my brother or my parents are not financially responsible, they've not done anything financially for themselves, or they've not put their financial life together, you sending money to them does not mean they would use the money the way you ask them to use the money. No, stop deceiving yourself. If you cannot go back to your home country and set up your business or build your house yourself or fully supervise it regularly, don't bother. Settle yourself here where you are here. Maybe if you are moving back to your home country, you can sell whatever business you have, whatever property you have, right? You can sell it and take the money back home. And when you are there, you can be sorting yourself back. Please, let's stop making silly mistakes in the name of trusting family and friends back home, and then we get burnt. Anyway, in conclusion, navigating financial matters in a new country can be daunting, but with proper planning and awareness, you can avoid these pitfalls and build a strong financial foundation here in the UK. I really do hope that by addressing credit history, understanding tax obligation, managing your cost of living here in the UK, handling debt responsibly, and dealing with the additional pressures such as black tax, you can achieve greater financial stability and enjoy a more secured financial future here in the UK. Now, if you find this video helpful, do not forget to check out my video on how I manage my money on payday, how I manage my expenses, savings, and my payday routine for more financial tips on how to manage your money effectively here in the UK as an immigrant.